Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Today, I'm super excited because this is the man of I always say of my life because he's one of the people responsible for changing my life and reaching out to me and telling me, you've got to try this. And then after that, it was, nothing but learning, and realizing what this is. And his name is Ray. How are you doing, Ray?
Hey, living the dream.
So I had asked Ray to please share his amazing gift of creating this beautiful, I don't want to call it plant, but fungus, I guess, right? For creating this beautiful fungus. And he's finally decided to share his amazing techniques that he's developed throughout the years. And he's really come up with an amazing, fast way of doing it. And so he opened a Patreon, and I said, oh my God, I got to have you on my channel because not only can we grow the type of mushroom that help us see the matrix, but it also helps us grow other mushrooms that are super expensive out there, right? Like lion's mane, and what else did you say?
Oyster mushrooms,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
which are delicious and
yeah.
awesome, especially if you're a vegetarian, super
Hmm.
healthy.
Yeah.
Piopinos are also really good and tasty. Um, all sorts of stuff. Anything
Well,
that grows on coco coir, which is a very simple substrate to grow in, you can grow with this technique.
fantastic. So, Ray, let's get started because I definitely want to make sure that we get it in enough time to do it within 20 minutes. So,
I
okay, so
shall try.
tell us why this Patreon page is different to anything else somebody might see either on YouTube or Reddit or something else. Why is it that this Patreon page is where people should go to
Yes.
learn how to grow this amazing fungus?
Yes. The idea is to have a community. It's not, you go into YouTube, there's so much information, there are so many videos. I spent so much time going down the wrong path. Um, and everything was so complicated and you see so many people show you different ways to do the same thing and then trying to figure out which way is the correct one or the best one for you. uh some of them are like to grow like tons and tons of mushrooms, some just a little bit. So anyway, after years of perfecting my method, I've come up with a very simple way to grow them. So simple that you can even do this without ever buying or using a pressure cooker. um if you do have a pressure cooker, it's better because you can make your own petri dishes and other things, but you don't even have to have pressure cook the jars of grain and all this stuff. It is so simple. With you can grow it in small shoebox size tubs, or even better in just Ziplocs, like using quart Ziplocs and gallon Ziplocs, and that's it. Um, and everything is step by step. Each lesson builds on the previous one, and super detailed. It's like you're looking right over my shoulder. It's not facing me, the camera. Nobody wants to see me. It's facing the other way. What you see is my hands, as if they were your hands working it, so you know exactly what you need to do. But the basic idea behind it is to build a community where people can join. It's private. You're not out in the open in the internet, and you can post your pictures of your grow and ask questions. Is this too wet? Is this too dry? Should I harvest now? Should I, is it okay to scent the bulb? All these things. And these terms that I'm throwing around, you'll learn them in the course. Everything is step by step. Each one builds on the previous one. So that's the idea behind it.
Wonderful. And so you had mentioned that, and I looked through it because I joined, um, and there's like a bunch of videos. Like you've already posted the videos, like all the information is already there and posted where
The
somebody
whole
can
course.
go in. Yeah, absolutely. So it's the videos are really just like you say, very detailed, very zoomed in. They just look fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So so what is it that you found from the way that you used to grow and now what's the difference in what are people going to see it's so worth to get in there to see your new way of doing it? So what's the difference between the old way and the new way?
Okay. So what I was trying to do was ride that fine razor's edge line of simplicity, but it works versus too complicated. It works, but it's too complicated. So I kept looking around how to simplify because dealing with these all these grain jars in the pressure cooker and then putting that in your waiting for that to colonize and then putting that into the substrate and then in these huge tubs and if something got contaminated you lose a whole tub. So I found a long time ago, if you look on the internet, the Uncle Ben's technique, which is using the little 90-second Uncle Ben's rice, brown rice, microwavable, and then they would inoculate that directly in the bag. But when I tried that, because it sounded like a very simple way to do it, I would get a lot of contamination because those that brand of rice is too wet is one. Second, you can't see what's happening because it only has a little clear window at the bottom. And sometimes I'd say like, oh, it's nice and white, it's ready to go. And when I opened it up top, it was all nasty and green on the other side, which you couldn't see. So I was like, there's got to be a way to do this. And I started thinking about using just a regular Ziploc and dumping that in. And I asked on Reddit, and people were like, no, no, you can't do that. It's going to contaminate and this and that. And I'm like, I'm just going to try this. So I tried it and it worked. And then I posted on Reddit about it. Other people have done it. I'm talking about this was like 3 years ago. And I kept experimenting with it and I also did the whole grain jar thing with popcorn that I can post videos on that too if people are interested. But what I found out is that there's no need. It's a lot simpler. You can use that microwavable rice, put it in a Ziploc. I'll show you how to inoculate it and then when to put that into grain and all these things, how to do it so it doesn't get contaminated. But I also show you that's the simplicity of it. But the other main focus is on you being completely independent, that you're self-sufficient. Let's say you buy a spore print, you can go from spore print to the grain, and then you can keep making more and more and more mushrooms, more grain with just one spore print. You can make mushrooms for the rest of your life. And either that or a liquid culture or spore syringe, you're set. You buy it just once. You don't have to be buying it every time you want to grow. So it's very, very, very simple, but very, very effective. And it's the other thing is you do it in small packages. So if one of them gets contamination, you don't break down and cry. You just lose one little bag while the other ones are still doing fine. But I'll show you a method where I'm like 99.9% contamination free. I almost never get contamination.
Wow.
But that's the simplicity of it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You know what I love about this is that now that I live in an apartment, it's something that I can grow in my apartment. I don't have to have a house or a raised garden or
Mhm.
any of that. It's something that I
Or a
can
home grow
do.
room.
Yeah, or a whole, yeah. It's just that's what I love about this. It's probably the one thing that people can grow in their apartment. and they don't even have to have an outside, area. It's
And
amazing.
also that's a great point. For example, if you were doing, for example, microdosing, um, you could have 1 quart Ziploc bag, get that colonized, inoculated and colonized, then that goes into the 1 gallon Ziploc bag, and that's your grow. And if you were using that for microdosing, that'll last you at least 6 months. 1 gallon a bag, or you could do it in a shoebox plastic tub, and you'll get like at least twice the amount.
Yeah.
So a whole year from one little grow.
Yeah.
But also, if you're like me and you get into it and you enjoy it, then you can grow your own edible mushrooms. Like I love oyster mushrooms. They taste great, great, sautéed or inside soups or ramen or whatever. And I just love growing all these different types of mushrooms. I always have something growing. And so I have all these little bags laying around for different types that I eat and this and that. And I buy them only once. I have a colony of oyster mushrooms that I keep propagating. I only bought them once. You can even get, I'll show you on the course, I show you how to buy an oyster mushroom from the grocery store, and you can clone that into your petri dish or agar cup, and then from the agar cup you keep putting into new agar cups, and you keep getting more and more and more.
Wow.
Or another example, you get your first little quart Ziploc bag of rice that's all nice and white. From that bag, you could create 10 bags from that same grain. So it's self-sufficient. You buy this stuff only once, and you got mushrooms for life.
Yeah.
And
And they're super expensive. Like, oh my God. I mean, I've been into markets, what's it called? The pop-up markets on the weekend, farmers market,
hmm
and they're selling these mushrooms, the specialty kind,
hmm
for a
Yep,
fortune.
yep, yep. And they're so much fun to grow. They're so crazy. I love these little bastards. They just grow like from one day to the next. They're twice the size. They're crazy. They're so funny just to look at. And you did it in your house. You got this little couple plastic bags next to a window, and then you get tons of mushrooms. It's just I love this stuff. I've been doing it for years. It's so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think that that's also why the outcome for me was so amazing, was because of so much love that you put
Yes.
in it. You just love doing it, and you just love them. And so yeah,
And they
it's
love me.
yeah. So, and that's also important too when you're gonna do these for healing.
hmm
It matters who's touching it and what energy they have, and are they just growing it to grow it, or are they growing it out of love? And you know what? It's not going to get any better than you yourself growing it.
Yes. There's never going to be one thing that happens to people when they're doing it for spiritual purposes. Every person has told me that, not with mine, but if they bought them somewhere else, that they've always had this time where they're like, what if this one's bad? What if this one's going to kill me? Or because they don't know where it came from.
Right.
You grew it. You create a relationship, a bond. I have a particular uh literal, because remember, if you clone from one mushroom and you put it in agar and in the petri dish and it grows, that same mushroom is multiplying. So that genetic, that same little guy is multiplying, like multiplying the bread in the Bible. And it's the same guy over and over. So you create a relationship. I have this particular same little mushroom that I've been growing for years, and it gets stronger and stronger the more I grow it. And I swear to God, I know him and he knows me. It's incredible. It you know it's the relationship you get when you grow it, and it talks to you, you hear it, you know what it needs. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And having you as the support to hold your hand as you're
Yeah.
growing these, I mean, it's just really, and for the price, you haven't even told people the price. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Lisa
so you want
was
to tell
giving me a hard
people?
time for the price.
Yep.
What was that?
Are you ready to tell people the price?
Yeah. And listen, I've helped so many people on Reddit anonymously when when they're growing and they're go, "Oh, what do I do with this? Is it bad? Is it contaminated? Is it too wet, too dry? All this stuff." I always chime in because I just love this stuff. And you could join this community and and have me and the other members that are going to start joining hold your hand and give you support and see your pictures and whatever for the huge, incredible high price of $5 a month. That's it. $5 a month. You could pay $5, look at all the videos, and that's it, and go. I don't care. But I think that for $5 a month, why wouldn't you stay in this community that's going to keep growing and growing, and everybody keeps helping each other out,
Yeah,
and with anything related to mushrooms. So
yeah,
that my goal is to have this community because this is what I love to do. I do it all the time. I don't have enough people to talk to about this stuff. So this is going to give us the community that we're all going to be in there helping each other out. And what do I do? And what do I don't do? Da 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 da. It's going to be great. $5 a month. I don't think you can beat that.
no, yeah, no. Not for what they're gonna get, all the videos plus the support and the community. That's
And more
crazy.
videos because I'm always creating new videos and new posting new information. So
Yeah,
I mean, I
absolutely.
think I don't know. I think it's too cheap, but that's okay.
Absolutely. No, it's amazing, and it's going to help humanity, and hopefully, because it is cheap, you'll be able to have more people join, and who knows, like people can start selling, their mushrooms to,
Farmers market.
the farmers market and things like that. So, I mean, it's just about also helping humanity.
Yeah.
So,
Being self-sufficient. I mean, and this stuff is food. These mushrooms are food. It's not just tasty or whatever. It's
yeah,
and
exactly.
and and if you want more mushrooms, you just make more bags. It's so simple. I
Yes.
mean,
Beautiful. So, um, as you guys can tell, oh, what's the name? Oh, I want you to show the logo.
oh, the logo. Hold on.
So if you
Let
show
me
your
see.
Patreon, you people will see your logo because I'm totally in love with
Yay.
it. I immediately told Ray, you gotta make mugs and shirts and stickers. I want a sticker of that in my car. So he went ahead and listened, and
Okay,
so
there it
he's gonna
is.
show us. There it is.
This is the logo.
That's the logo.
This is I drew that myself. Oh, can you see it?
Yeah, well, you show us when once you're big, back to big, so we
Oh,
can
okay,
see it
okay, okay.
well. But
So this is our logo, the
yeah,
all-seeing mushroom,
I love
the
it.
golden key, as I call it.
It is the golden key, the
And
golden
it's
teacher. I thought I was calling it the golden teacher.
well, that's the mushroom, but I call it the golden key because it's the key to the universe.
Oh,
That's just my name for it. It's not what
oh,
people call
okay.
it. That's
Yep,
what I call it.
it's for sure a
But
key.
yes, it's the key to the kingdom, the key
It
to the
is,
kingdom. So it's called Kitchen Mycology. So Patreon/Kitchen Mycology all together,
and we'll have
or
the
search
the
for
link on the underneath the
in the
the um
description. Yes.
the
And
description.
the first thing you see, maybe they should see this real quick. The first thing you see when you log in is the pinned table of contents. And you can see introduction, the mycology, psychology, Ziploc tech, all these are each one of these is a whole video.
That's
All the
crazy.
tutorial, all these, and the list of materials down here, and the list of acronyms, so that if you go onto Reddit, you know what S2B is, spawn to bulk, all this type of stuff. And then I also have the what I call the mushroom growing fast track. After you learn it, then depending on how you do it, you could have only 5 steps, 4 steps, or you could do the whole thing in only 3 steps. So depending on what you're starting from. So after you're established, you only do these 3 steps, and you're always gonna have mushrooms. Um, so let's get big again. What do I do?
You stop
Stop share.
sharing. Hmm.
There you go. There we
Yeah,
go.
now you can show us
So,
your
so
tattoo. It's got to be in front of your face or, yeah, there we go.
can you see
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
By the way,
yeah.
my mushroom
Yep.
crown. So yeah, kitchen mycology, because you can do this in your own kitchen with really simple equipment. You don't need all these super expensive materials and tools and grow room and lab room and all this stuff.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
simple but effective.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. I'm super excited. All right, so we'll go ahead and post the connection back to Patreon and then also to the buying
They,
the shirts and the stickers and
yeah, yeah,
whatever.
cool. Yeah. Yeah, you can get your t-shirt with that logo. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And I also have a YouTube channel by the same name,
Okay.
but I have just a few free videos because I want to have the whole course. I'm not gonna put the whole course for free.
No, no, no. All right.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right. Ah, right on time. All right,
Yay!
everybody. Thank you, Ray, so much. And everybody, please, if this resonates, please forward it to whoever you think needs it. If somebody is microdosing, this would be a great way for them to save some money and get supported. So this is about helping humanity. And
Disclaimer: if it's legal for you and you're in a state that's legal, if it's not, then I'm sorry, but
yeah,
you know, do whatever. It's up to you. It's up to you.
yeah, it's up to you. Absolutely,
But we're not
absolutely.
advocating anybody do anything illegal, of course.
No, of course, absolutely. All right, that's it for today,
Perfect.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, thank you.
Lisa. Love you.
Welcome. Love you too.